Hello and welcome. This is Shiree with Rehash Fiber, and today I have a few really good things for you. I have a great pattern, some fun little tools, and then I did a little yarn crawling the world when I was in Colorado, and I'm going to share that store that I visited with you. All right, I came across this pattern, the baby bear bonnet. It was so adorable, I had to make it. Now I feel like every project has its own personal story and a journey, and you may feel that way as well. Whatever inspires you to make it, whether it's the pattern, the yarn, the need for it, whatever, and how all the pieces come together, and then you have this lovely item, but really only you know the great story behind it. So I have my own little story here, but I do want to tell you all about the pattern first, okay? It is the baby bear bonnet, and it is by Knitting for Olive. It comes in sizes for 1 month all the way to 24 months, and it's used with fingering yarn and mohair held together. That way you get a nice little fuzzy bonnet for the little one. It's worked on a US 4 needle, which is 3.5 millimeters. Now my story starts to change just a little bit, because I had some hand spun yak from World of Wool that I had done. And that ball of yarn felt so extremely soft. I'm like, it's perfect for the baby bear bonnet. So mine's a little bit different. And being hand spun, I would say it looks a little bit more rustic, which means just not as even as machine made yarn. However, I like that, and I figure it's for a little baby bear bonnet. So there's that little unevenness there, but it still has a little bit of a halo because it's very soft yak, and it was just delightful to use. So there goes my personal story there. Now, the details of the pattern are quite sweet. I went ahead and made the largest size. Maybe I can take it off and you can see it a little bit better. The largest size for the 24-month-old, a 2-year-old kid. However, mine ended up working up just a little bit bigger, which is fine because it is for children anyway. So whatever child this should fit, they can wear it if they want to. So what's really special about it is that when you start, you do a seed stitch border, or you can have the option of doing rib. And then you just start stockinette stitch going up as long to the point for the size of the pattern that you're working. So for one evening, I was just doing stockinette stitch all night, going to town. Great fun. Then you get to where you need to form the ears. After the ears, you start going down the back with German short rows, back of the head. When you get to the base, you then knit an I-cord, you attach it with picked up stitches across the back, and finish off with an I-cord down the other side. You end up with this little adorable hat, or bigger adorable hat that I ended up with, which is great. And it brings me to another story I'll tell you in a couple of minutes. It's really fun. You can easily do it in a weekend if you're doing a smaller size, if you work really fast, and if you spend a lot of time doing it. Otherwise, I would say it's a project you could do less than a week. It took me about 3 to 4 days. I had made some mistakes, so that's about the length of time if you just really spend time working on it. Okay, so my little side story. I had somebody comment on one of the shows, the would-be bag, that it didn't look like the pattern. Now, I do all types of everything, and I share it on the show. And if you watch, you know. But there are times when if you want it to look exactly like the pattern, you buy the yarn and you do it like that. Oftentimes, I have my own other stuff going on. So for the would-be bag, I had had some hand-spun llama that I wanted to use. It was a different weight than the bag. The bag came out looking differently. The accents that I put on it, I just did a single strand of yarn instead of double. So it looked different and the viewer was confused. I was just explaining it here just as this came out. This does not look like these sweet little ones in her picture. This looks like the one I did with yak. But what I'm telling you is that when I work through these projects, they are worth doing. And that is however you see to do it. If you want to have it look just like the pattern, buy the yarn that it calls for or close to it to do that. But if you got your whole other stuff going on, like your hand spun and things like that, you may get some variances. That is what crafting is all about. You've put yourself into it and your efforts and your thoughts, and then you have your unique item that you made. So here we have my nice big little baby hat. So it's going to be for a kid, and it's so soft. So it's a Shiree project. Okay, but moving on, when I was saying there were some fun tools. Okay, these little wooden things, you'll see them at fiber festivals, you'll see them at stores. I really appreciate it because I buy the ones with the pattern tips. So I have here German short rows and the Kitchener stitch, both which were necessary in this baby bear bonnet, because when you're finishing the ears, you need to do the Kitchener stitch. And when you're doing the back of the hood, you're doing the German short rows. These are fun because I can pull them out, lay them on the table, and just reference them as I'm going. And what's really nice is they make nice little mementos from the stores you've been in. Even though one of these is made from Katrinkles and the others from Cottontail Farm, the stores usually put their logo on it, so you have the nice memory of visiting the store. I go to a lot of yarn stores and I can't always buy yarn because I already have a room full, so I look for special little things like these, and you can find them there. Or you can get them online. I'll include that information in the show's description. Great to have. All right, so recently I was out in Colorado. My daughter lives in Boulder, and I did a little yarn crawling the world. I had an afternoon and I thought, what's near me? I found a wonderful store called Maverick Fiber Arts in Lafayette, Colorado, which was really only about 7 miles from her house. You go just a little bit east of the mountains, east of Boulder, and it's a great shop. So when I showed up, there were a bunch of happy ladies out front working on their stuff. And then I went inside to find a beautiful abundance of yarn, all types of yarn, high and low. The place was really stocked. It was great. Had a lovely walkthrough, visit with Kirsten, and thrilled that I found it. So I did get some roving there that I can use for some projects, and really great to see. What was really neat is the drive there and back. As you get further away from the mountains, you see more mountains, and I thought, how lucky are these people to live here with that great view all the time. And I heard there was a sheep farm up the road, and it was killing me because I just really wanted to go see some sheep, but I had to get back to the plans for the rest of the day. But anyway, if you're in that area, check out Maverick Fiber Arts. All right, everybody, so have fun making the young person in your life this cute little baby bear hat. Happy knitting, and thanks for watching.